to a friend of mine last night, or actually my buddy Dave, who lives with us and is also a math teacher, that I think my classroom is my friend Dave. Have I never talked about Dave?
No.
Dave is like my best friend, probably arguably. He is a math teacher. Yeah, just because he just moved back. He lived in Baltimore for a while. So
You're
he,
sharing
within the span of 3 years. Yeah, our house is way too big for us. Within the span of 3 years, he bought a house, did like everything to the house, and I helped him with all that. Then sold the house, made about $40,000 profit, because the housing market is very right now. Moved to Baltimore, taught there for a couple years, and then moved back. So arguably 4, but the one doesn't have a closet, so technically it's an office. And then we have the guest room and Dave's room.
I have 2. I'm in a family of 5, and I have a dog and 2 guinea pigs.
So,
and we only have
it's funny that you guys think it's like weird, but a lot of adults live together just for financial reasons. But the biggest reason I like having a roommate is we play board games together. And a lot of board games are way better with 3 people than 2 people. Like if you ever want to play Clank, we don't have a copy of Clank here, but I'll bring my copy. That's like one of my favorite games. You fight dragons and try to make other people die. That's a fun game. Because if you make noise and I don't make noise, the dragon's going to get you before it gets me. Fun game. So, all of that to say, I think my classroom's pretty sweet. We have art up now. We have a window to the ocean. Hope you guys are enjoying this. Oh, it fell. So, like I thought, gravity sucks. But now I realize that will take the weight of it, and it just needs to keep itself on the wall. So hopefully it'll keep itself on the wall now, because it's resting on the bulletin board. Yeah.
Mr. Camilo told me to ask you about your friend that lives in a van in the parking lot.
Oh, he's actually going to come back. He didn't live in the parking lot. That's Devin. He runs our Go Club, which we just haven't started yet. I was actually texting him last night, too. So Go is the oldest game in the world, actually. It's played on grid board with black and white stones. He will be coming to Forum sometime to pitch that club. If you've seen the grid board out in the library, that is like a giant, just like, it looks like a graph, essentially. And I should just steal it from my classroom and use it for a graph when it's not being used in there. That's the biggest Go board possible. So if you wanted to learn how to play Go, I'll teach anybody. It's pretty easy. I'm not that great, but I know how to play. He lived in a van when he was traveling. So he bought a van and converted it to like a camper van, and went out west and was for a while living the van life, which really means you go rock climbing a bunch. So man, Mirabelle's not even here for this story. So he was like camping at the bottom of giant rock faces and would wake up and go rock climbing, and then like just camp there. So it was like he was camping for a long time, but nice camping. It was in a van, so essentially a camper. But it was a big van. Not like your mom's minivan. It was a big white, kind of creepy looking van.
Because we were talking about trick-or-treating, and then
yeah.
creepy white van, and then Mr. Camilo was like, you should ask Mr. Hudson about.
Okay, so one day when Devin was here, he had insulation. So when he camped in the cold weather, he'd have insulation that he would put up on the windows, because the windows are where most of your heat gets lost. And one day when he came here, the insulation was up, so you couldn't see in the van. So the back of it, big white van. Mr. Camilo was like, what's that creepy white van out there? Like, he literally came in asking about it. Today, after a lot of that wasted time in storytelling, but sometimes that's all right, we're easing into things. We are going to practice our arithmetic properties and talk about commutative and associative. So if you are hearing those words and you're like, oh crap, I don't remember what those mean, you're in luck. We're going to make sure that we know what those mean. So Juno is looking at this problem, 24 plus 3 plus negative 4 plus 7, and he's like, oh, that's easy. It's just 20 and 10. How did Juno get to this point of saying, oh, that problem's easy. It's just 20 and 10. Take a moment, look at it, see if you can tell me how, because Juno's right. This problem is fairly easy. All we have to do is add 20 and 10. Nick?
I think he just simplified it into 10.
What do you mean he simplified that? You could say that about any problem and not really know what you're doing. What do you mean?
I think he got like a 24 and he saw a negative 4 and he just like put those simplified.
Ah, okay, hold on. So I'm sure that the smart board's going to be struggling this morning. Come on. So Nick just said he saw the 20 and the negative 4. And that makes 20. Are we all together that he just grouped the 24 and the -4 because it was convenient? They shared that 4.
Should I write this down?
No, you don't really have to. We're just getting our brain going. And then, how do you get the 10? Yeah, the 3 and the 7. Does that make sense for how Juno took a problem that might not have been that easy and made it easier? Right? Not saying it's easy, but it's easier. Now, he could have also done 24 plus 3 gets you 27, then come down by 4. He could have done all of that. He didn't need to. Right? He made it easier. Always make things easier if you can. So now, let's go ahead and write it down. 24 plus 3 plus -4 plus 7. So if you haven't done it yet, now is the moment when you want to write that down. What Juno actually did was apply specific math properties that we are allowed to do with some problems and not allowed to do with other problems. Is 2 plus 3 the same as 3 plus 2? Yeah. Is 3 minus 2 the same as 2 minus 3? No. So certain things we're allowed to do depending on the operation. Other things we are not. Please write down the commutative property and underline the part of the word. Who knows what I'm going to tell you to underline? Yeah, say it. Commute. Right? Commute means what?
Like you're like,
When you're going out for like a movie.
Move. Commutative property is to move. And we are allowed to use the commutative property for addition. So please write that down. And multiplication. Ooh. Now let's forward. Multiplic, I think, yeah. So the commutative property is allowed to be used for addition and multiplication, but that's it. You can't use it with subtraction, and you can't use it with division, because changing the order then changes the answer. Well, with multiplication and addition, it doesn't. So this goes back to us not liking subtraction, right? If we make things addition first, yeah, then we can do commutative property. Now, the associative property, this is dangerous, but can anyone remember how I told you to kind of remember what the associative property does?
Like, you're related in some way?
Don't say it. Lily,
never mind, I have no idea.
look
You're related?
at the first, I think Callie remembers, look at the first 3 letters.
Bud.
So, the associative property is the property that puts butt cheeks on things.
Oh, you didn't tell us that.
We haven't talked about this year?
No.
No. And the associative property is the butt property. Right? So, look, you'll remember this now. You can put parentheses. I thought I was going to say but. You can put parentheses around things and associate them. So to associate means you're with somebody, right? If I say I'm associated with Phoenix Middle School, I'm with Phoenix Middle School. I'm related to. To associate things says do this and do that, then move on with the problem. So what Juno did was he associated the 24 and the -4, and then he associated the 3 and the 7. So the associative property, write whatever you need to on your paper, allows us to, I don't really like using the word add when we're not talking about addition. So we can insert parentheses to group or associate. Right, now you can say add if you want. We can place. I'm trying to think of other words instead of add.
Include.
Yeah, like, yeah, I like that. Include some parentheses. A bad word. Now, if you're talking about a donkey, that's totally different. So, do we see, hold up, do we see how the -4 moved to join the 24 and or slash the 3 moved to join the 7, and then we associated with parentheses? Any questions on what Juno did there? So please make sure you not only have the original, but that you write down this one. So take a moment. If you did not write down the new version after we commute and after we associate, please write down that one. And if I was you, I would write it below it, just directly below, so you can see, oh yeah, I moved those things, I did this. Any other questions on that? Okay. Wait.
Yeah, wait.
Crap.
That was pretty mean, Mr. Hudson.
What? I didn't mean to.
No, he never said that.
He never said it.
He said nothing.
Yeah, and if we want to be honest, a lot of you say a lot worse things walking around school. Knock it off. Alright, are we good? Sorry, are we good? Are we good? Are we good? Okay. So, I want you to work with your team to calculate the value of this expression. Now, does the grouping matter is a question we're going to think about. So if you apply the associative property, I want you to compare, and this is how we can talk about it, I want you to compare the yellow to the green, and obviously our original here, we could probably solve without regrouping or anything like that. Like, what I'm going to look for, I'm going to random card this, and you can always pass, but I'm going to random card to ask, like, can you talk about, does the grouping matter? So chat with your partner, write this down. Which one of those comes out to be the same and which one comes out to be different, and why? You're doing the whole thing, essentially. No, there's multiple people. They're kind of spread out, but...
My notes are so All right, bring it back together. Molly has volunteered to help us understand this. Molly, take it away.
I think I'm a very scientific definition, but it's following order of operations with this, like PEMDAS, you have to start with parentheses, which is grouping something together. So, it gives you a way to go. Like, it gives you steps to, have. You would get different answers if you didn't group.
So, let's walk through it.
Yeah.
If you just do it how it is up here, walk me through how we solve that.
Okay, so, if you're going to do it this way, you could do 7 minus 2, which is 5.
Okay.
And then plus 4. And
You get
9.
Sweet. So we do here.
Yeah.
Walk me through.
And so then, that's, okay, so then 7 minus plus 4 is 9.
Okay, so that grouping didn't really change anything. But what about over here in green?
So we have to do parentheses first. It would be 4 plus 2, which is 6. And that gives you the 1.
So guys, notice here, it's the same numbers in the same order with the same operations. But the parentheses, if we put them on and change the order, it changes the problem. The way we can avoid that, anyone have any guesses? How can we avoid the parentheses messing things up?
Well, like, you have to know that when you do, like, order of operations, that you have to go from left to right, so you can't put parentheses.
What do we have here that we don't like? Subtraction. Toby, what are you thinking?
I'm thinking that in order to not let the parentheses mess anything up, you should do them first, right?
Yeah, but we did it first and it messed things up. What I'm asking is how can we change really the original problem so that we could put parentheses wherever we want and it doesn't actually change our answer? Araya?
Change the whole problem to make it addition.
Make it addition. And guys, I'm still writing this on some of your tests. Make subtraction problems into addition. So this, if you want to rewrite it on your paper, you totally can because I'm writing it again. We should turn into 7 plus -2 plus 4. Now, grouping won't matter. Because what is -2 plus 4? 2, and 7 plus 2 is still 9. We fix that grouping issue. Because, Toby, put it away for now. We're learning new stuff. You and I will talk about that later. This subtraction breaks both the associative or the commutative property. We cannot apply commutative or associative if we have subtraction. So make it into addition. Now if we go back and look at order, same story, right? Same story when we look at order. 7 minus 2 plus 4, that's 9. We talked about that. What is 2 minus 7? Well, that's -5 plus 4. This would be -1. Totally different answer. Again, if we make it addition of the negative, because guys, this is not -7. Our 7 is positive. The minus is supposed to be happening to the 2. This is totally broken. Right? We cannot do that. You can't just move the numbers like the symbol has to go with it. This is all messed up. Any questions on me really saying subtraction sucks? That's really what we're saying.
That's a mean word.
That's a mean word, but it's accurate here.
You should say,
Subtraction breaks things. I guess.
subtraction isn't the most useful. Because that's really mean. Subtraction.
But subtraction isn't real.
But it
No, it doesn't.
subtraction.
All right. Real quick. Hey, just to practice this, we're going to turn all of these problems into all addition. No subtraction.
Wow.
So practice on your paper. I'm going to say, I bet 2 minutes is probably all we need for this. I bet 2 minutes is all we need. So these 3 problems, I'm going to rewrite them bigger to make sure that you can see them. Make them into addition. Now I didn't, I'm not saying they'll all be positive numbers, but we're going to turn them all into addition.
Mr. Hudson, can you make your next problem out of white?
Sure, Nick, just for you. I was debating on if we change color with chapter 4, like our new chapter stuff. Do we change background color of the
No, you should make it
presentation?
black. Make the background black. No, make it red.
Make the background. We need
Not December yet.
Red and green.
It's not even December.
So,
I'm gonna make it like auburn.
I'm worried. Since I did Halloween colors with my hair, should I do red and green? Yes.
That's totally up to you.
Yeah.
All right. Did I not say we're gonna random card this? We're gonna random card this. So
That's in with the problem.
I know. So you should do it instead of talking about Christmas. I'm a leaky tire. You're supposed to be solving the problem. Whatever works for you. Oh, by the way, there's still a decent amount of these, so my guess is some of you didn't get it because I didn't have it printed in the morning. If you need 332, if you need yesterday's homework, raise your hand and I will bring it to you.
Ooh, wait,
Because
no,
it was
that's
my
mine.
fault that I didn't
I
have
have
it
it.
from yesterday. I didn't have it printed in the morning, so if you did not pick it up, you don't have it. If you didn't pick it up yesterday, you don't have it. I have too many extra copies. Everybody should be solving these three problems. You should write the original before you write the new. So I bet you what you have written is correct, but write the original before you have the new. So Zach just wrote like what it turns into. He's right. Like I just glanced at his paper. It's right, but always write the original. Notice how I rewrote the original before I started. So Nick, your card is on top.
Yay.
Help me rewrite I.
10 plus, in parentheses, -2, plus,
And now I can change the order however I want. The easiest way to use the commutative property is sort your problem. Do positives and then do negatives. Because now we have 14 fighting with a 2. Who wins? Positive by 12.
E.
Olivia, help me with the double I.
So I did -3 and then in parentheses.
Wait, -3 or just 3? Just 3? Okay, 3.
And then in parentheses I did -5 and then
Now wait, is there anything here or nothing there?
Flat.
Plus,
plus and then the -2 in parentheses.
is there anything between those parentheses?
A flat.
Yeah.
And then,
Plus 6.
And again, sort your teams. Good guys versus bad guys.
It's a song now.
Oh my god.
Eric's like, I'm in. I'm.
Has a song.
How many good guys?
2.
Well, total 9, right? Like 9 good guy power. How much good or how much bad guy force?
7.
7.
Big poop dipper.
Who wins?
Obviously, heroes. Heroes always win.
Positives by 2. That's not true, really. The world would be a much better place if positives always won. Hold up.
They lost, yeah.
Are there questions at this point? Everywhere I have a minus, I'm changing it into plus parentheses, the opposite of that number, which up here has been making them negatives. So now, 7 I know doesn't change because it's just 7. Maeve, what do I do with the rest of this problem?
7 plus in parentheses -3 plus in parentheses -2.
So there's only 7 good guy. How much bad guy total?
5.
5. And who wins? Good guys by 2.
Again.
Any questions?
It was 12.
How did you know? Now we have some multiplication though. Here.
Good golly.
Yeah, if your notes are for you. I kind of decided that since some of the homeworks have like stuff from class on them, I'm trying to put the stuff I really care about on the homework things. Yeah, that's awesome. Now I'm going to tell you Meredith is kind of setting a high bar. Her notes look pretty amazing too. Okay, maybe. We got a lot of awesome notes.
Dude, my
Okay, so that's last year.
Hey, can I ask you guys something now and then have you hold me accountable?
Yeah.
Can,
She made us highlight crap.
can some of you, like, this is voluntary, can some of you save your stuff, and if we have time to, at some point, we'll do hanging folders. We just need like 10 minutes of class. Can you save your math notes and stuff from this year? And then next year, at the beginning of the school year, I don't know if we're going to do a term or what, can you show them to 7th graders? Like, can we together talk about, like, this is how you take notes? Because it's often some 6th graders coming into 7th have never really had to take their own notes because their teacher makes everything a worksheet. And it's all very, like, you come from a dozen different elementary schools.
we were in KMS.
Oh, yeah, well, that's different. That is different.
We had a whole composition journal.
That sucks.
Hey, I have a feeling some of us aren't doing these problems, so we probably should.
Oh, distraction. Oh, we tried to talk
You
to
distracted me with how pretty your notes are.
Oh, thank you.
Mr. Anthony, we have two conversations on my Oh yeah.
That's multiplication. Yeah, you don't add the plus, it's multiplication. Or if you don't put that parentheses. You don't have to put a negative number in parentheses, but it's ugly to just have like second decimals, plus, minus, two, like, there's too much. And it gets, like, it just gets messy. So that's why we put the negatives in parentheses, just to clean things up. You're welcome. Yeah, so not necessary, but it's better.
Got it.
Oh my gosh.
Secret stash of notes.
No, I'm trying to clear out a drawer. But Lauren has like what looks to be a lot of this is hey, no, inappropriate. Lauren was a math 2 student, very, very intelligent.
Oh, cool.
And their stuff is back here because I'm gonna try to get you guys a drawer.
Yeah, we get a drawer. Special.
Anyone conjure up? Do you want to go write your work on the board?
My notes are good.
Sorry, proximity 1 on that one. He was there, I was here.
Sure.
Okay, so you take 17. Whoa, this is fancy. Okay, and then you do plus and in parentheses. 4. That's a Y. How do you deal with this?
How do you what?
How do you? I can't. Okay.
You can use the whole space and then we can make another page for B.
Why are you using X's?
Is that a Y or a 4?
That's a 4.
Theory.
See, wait, you have to hit the
Is that
Okay.
7?
Hey, if you're gonna be up there, we gotta be like seriously trying to write out the problem, not
Yeah,
move
we'll
around
go
the board.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Toby's gonna be choosing.
You go 17. And then instead of doing minus 4, because subtracting is mean, you do plus and in parentheses -4. That's another Y.
No, your parentheses.
Hey, so one thing I do a lot that I think you guys may not notice
There.
is if you come to the board, this isn't for Toby, this is for everybody. If you come to the board, your handwriting will look fancier if you click calligraphy. Then this is the size. So if you want it to be smaller, so guys, when you come to the board, please remember those 2 things.
Alright,
What about
we'll
two
do
squares?
this.
So complicated.
We'll see how this goes now.
You gotta go to the calligraphy.
I know.
So,
Thank you.
what's the problem?
And then you do plus. I'm gonna put it way longer than that.
Mm-hmm.
And then -4. But you take and take it. Parentheses. -11. And then add 15. Which should equivalent.
So now if we sort good guys, bad guys to jump in and help Toby move along a little quicker, what should we move? If we want to put good guys first.
And then plus 15.
Yeah, put that
And then
15 next
plus
to it.
Negative. What is this? And then
Plus 1S.
So guys, the screen picks up exactly what you do. If you come up, you got to kind of try to have some nice handwriting. Now, hold on. Anyone notice anything convenient that we could kind of like have a small battle and make life easy? Eric?
You could just have, well, -4 plus -11 is -15, and then the 15 and the -15 cancel each other out, which gives us the answer, which is 17.
So if we, I'm going to hop in. Sorry, I'm going to hijack it. Toby could say group the good guys, group the bad guys. Or, and I'm not sure which way Toby took, but if we do that, that makes a little micro battle, and the bad guys, -4 and -11, make -15. We can kind of just see that as we process. Good guy 15 takes on bad guy 15, and they disappear. So all we have left is good guy 17. Molly, you want to come up and do B real fast?
Can I bring up my paper to?
Yes, you probably should.
Can I erase this?
Nope. Here. Oh, nope, nope. Hey, hey,
No, the
hey,
pen, the
hey,
pen.
hey.
You're gonna write without the pen.
Can't you just use your finger?
You can, but it's not as, like, it's a little bit messier. Well, it seems to be.
Molly gave it a buzzer.
Sorry. Okay. So it's 2 plus.
Your handwriting is really nice.
Okay. Okay. So basically, what you can do is
Let her talk it through.
The dot is
the dot in the top.
Oh, well, can't you just not put the dot because it's right next to
Now, I will say you changed one number. Like, literally, you changed the number. And your parenthesis groupings are a little bit off. So before you put parentheses in, that group, so you know how you grouped your -4 and your -2? Before we do that, we want to change everything to addition of the negative. So you just kind of skipped over a step. Can I hop in real quick? And we're going to slide this down. Oh, come on, let me click drag. So before Molly starts doing that, what we want to do is 2 plus -2, right? Change that minus, times the 3 plus -4 plus -2, and that's times -4. So there's a little bit of issue here with this grouping and everything. So we're going to actually get rid of that for a moment.
Would the answer just be 0?
You may want to let me hop in because I feel like if you took that route, you might have a mistake. I'm going to tell you to show up here. You know what I mean. Let's get you on the next one. So real quick, for the sake of time, because I'm going to try to fit in way too much in this class period. This multiplication is -6. There's nothing in parentheses to do, right? All of the parentheses are there for negatives. So I'm going through and I'm multiplying right now. This is multiplication. What is it? +8, right? So I don't really need that parentheses. So now I have bad guy 10, if I put them together, and good guy 10, if we put them together. So it is 0 here. All right, real quick, we only have 3 minutes, but I bet we can do this. I need you to come up here, grab a folder, and I'll get out more if we run out, and get a post. Hold on, wait. What you're going to do, and if it has one of these name tags on it, all you need to do is pull it out to pop it out, and you can just leave it up here. Hold on, listen to the directions, because you're going to do it wrong. Sorry, I love you, but you're going to do it wrong. When you grab your Post-it, the sticky part of it is going to go on the green, or whatever, top edge of the folder. So when the folder shuts, it sticks up. You're going to put your name on here. First and last would be convenient. And we're going to take the top drawer back there as the 1A drawer.
You can put any of your math papers that are either checks or masteries in your folder.
Oh boy.
Have a folder. I was like, I already made one. Somebody needs it.
Oh man.
If you want to write your name in Sharpie, that's over here. We got a million Sharpies over here.
Brown or dark green?
Hey, hold on. Don't rip the cube in half. Hold on. I might have. You really want that green color? You're just desperate for that. Yes, you can rip the cube in half.
Do you want the green or blue?
Hey, I don't think any of these are. How much are you looking at poop to know what shades of? Like, come on, man.
Nick is playing
So, really, the easy way. Hey, the easy way for us to do this is anything not current chapter. Hey, I got some people not listening, and you should. You can multitask. You can listen while you work.
That's just not real.
You can listen while you do a task. Listen to the words coming out of my mouth.
Yes, sir.
Especially later in the year. Open notes tests, open homework might happen. Hint, hint, nudge, nudge, it will. So you want to keep the current chapter work, like mini masteries or homeworks or the notes you take in class. You want to keep that in your binder. Everything previous chapters, you can get rid of. So right now you can get rid of everything chapter 1 and chapter 2 if you want. I would keep chapter 3 in your binder for now. At any point, you can access that filing cabinet. You do not need my permission. There is nothing secret back there. But please make sure you're putting your papers into your folder. This will matter come student conference time.
Can we put our paper that we need today?
Oh, that should go in your binder, because that's current. Remember, keep current stuff in your binder. That's your old stuff. Yeah, old stuff is going in the filing cabinet, guys. Old stuff.